Day 787 being Christopher Cruz. I am at this really cool, hip coffee shop in downtown LA. I think I'm in the Arts District, not really sure. So every Tuesday or Wednesday, is today Wednesday? Every Wednesday, there's men's prayer. Wow, look at this thing. That is just destructive looking. What a plant. That is a plant where it's like, don't freaking touch me. I feel like some people are like that. They got a lot of thorns. Anyway, sidetrack. But yeah, they do men's prayer. I've known about it for months and months and months, and I've never come. And for some reason, I just felt really called to come today. And so much so that I canceled a coaching call that I had scheduled in the morning so I could come to this. And I was just like, I'm not sure why, but I'm showing up. And I showed up, and there's two guys there that I know from church who are awesome. And then our campus pastor shows up, and another guy. And it's just so fun. Like, I'm so grateful that the people from my church have such a ridiculous sense of humor. Like, it's so funny. Like, our campus pastor, he's literally the funniest person I've ever met. Like, yeah, he's just so funny and so lighthearted, and he just brings so much joy to having a relationship with God and, you know, all these things. So we're joking around, we're laughing, we're having fun. And then I started asking like really deep questions about faith and God and all this stuff. And everyone's like, you know, having a really good conversation. And then at the end, everyone gets up to leave. And one of the guys stays, and he starts asking me about coaching because he's thinking maybe he wants to be a coach. We end up having this whole conversation about purpose. I brought my iPad today. I just felt really called, and I showed him the purpose puzzle. And he's like, wow, it was just such a perfect conversation, how God lined that up. And then God gave me a word for him too, which was just like, that rocked him. And so at the end of the conversation, I was like, you know what I'm really thinking about doing is I want to be able to bring this to Fearless. Like, I want to be able to bring this to church and do like a 6-week program for the people in the church to help them find their purpose. And I was like, and I was asking about that. He was like, oh man, that would be great. And you know, that would fit with them so well. Just really encouraging that I reach out to them and come to them with a plan on how to do it. And then I asked him, I was like, okay, in your situation, like, what would you pay for this, for it to be a no-brainer, for an absolute no-brainer? Like, 6 weeks, find my purpose. I got to show up, you know, one night a week, and I'll get clarity on that. And I was like, the no-brainer price. And I was thinking 100. And he said between 100 and 150. And that's like not a lot at all, but I'm not doing it to make money off of it, because I would probably give a majority of it to the church. So, but let's say like the church has 600 or 700 people in it. Let's say 200 of them show up. You know, that's $100 a person. That's still $20,000. You know, and if I gave the church 75% of that, then, because the thing is, I get the exposure, like I get to do it. And then plus, after everyone finds their purpose, they have the ability to jump into Warriors of God, which is $99 a month. So, you know, I was even thinking I can give the church 100% of the money, or 90%. I just need the funds to be able to pay for the workbooks and the supplies and stuff like that. But it was just like, oh, wow, that's just so perfect. And he was just like, dude, that would be a no-brainer. Like, that would just fit with them so well. And there's this conference coming up at the end of February, the Fearless Church Conference. And he's like, if you launched it after that, think about launching it after that. Like, people are on fire for God. They're just like, I want to find my calling. You know, they're hungry. Like, that would be an amazing time. And he's talking about like my merch. Like, dude, you could partner with them, because Fearless is all about like coming up with cool shirts and, you know, shorts and all that kind of stuff. And they're really good at that. And it's just like, yeah, just this partnership, it could be so powerful. And the crazy thing is, I've been thinking about that. I've been thinking like, how do I bring this to people at church? Because I have one client from church, and I'm going to talk to another guy tomorrow who wants to do it. And then talking to this guy, it's like, I look at the church and there are people that are hungry for it. And I told them my target market are entrepreneurial believers who want to change the world. And that's like our whole church. Like, most people there are entrepreneurial. And so, yeah, it was just like so much confirmation from God. So much confirmation. The odds that he and I had that conversation, he said, you know, it's crazy, Chris, is I was thinking about you yesterday, because I was thinking, who's a coach that I know? And I thought of you. And they weren't going to do the prayer meeting today. They weren't going to do the men's prayer. But then he kind of really pushed the campus pastor, like, hey, no, we got to do it, because they were just going to meet individually. And so just the way that things lined up is just so perfect, like just so, like, just, it's ridiculous. Like you can't make this stuff up. You just can't make it up. It's too perfect. And so yeah, I'm just blown away by that, and so just excited and inspired. And it's like I can kind of get a grasp of what God is doing, a plan of what God is doing. You know, he told me to steward the ones I have to build a really strong foundation so I can hold a lot of people. So the app, the Warrior Wednesday, and then the welcome kit. And he wants me to have that all prepared and all up and running so I can do something at the church and bring on hundreds of warriors and bring them into a foundation where they're going to succeed and they're supported. And I've built something that can hold the weight of all those people and support them and lift them up to living into their purpose once they've found it. So it's just like all of the puzzle pieces are coming together, and I'm starting to see the bigger picture. And yeah, it's crazy. And my church is like the perfect church for me to partner with this Warriors of God. The crazy thing is the conference is called Warrior Conference, or Kingdom Warrior Conference, something Warrior Conference. And I'm like, wow, Warrior Conference, Warriors of God. It's too perfect. And when I was talking to the associate pastor about running the internship, he really wanted me to do it around purpose, helping these interns find their purpose in life. So it's just all lined up. And this guy was like, dude, just put together a slick presentation and map out like what you would do and just take it to him. Like it's like a no-brainer for them, especially if, you know, you can split the money with them and they don't lose money on it. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like if we can get 200 people to sign up for it, that's $20,000. I'll just keep the money to pay for expenses. So I'll keep 3,000 or 4,000 of it. The church can have 17,000, and I don't need to worry about the money, because after that, there will be a ton of them that want to join Warriors of God and do the $99 membership fee to continue the journey of now living into your purpose. So that could be, if there's 200 people that go, and let's say 50 of them sign up, that's $5,000 a month right there. That's $60,000 in a year from memberships, not to mention like other things that they might buy, you know, merchandise, coaching programs. But I don't care about the money. Like the money doesn't matter, but I'm just logically, my mind is like, okay, well, you know, how does this work financially? How do the numbers work? But the truth is, like, I just want to help believers find their purpose so we can go out there and change the world and start doing things differently and start influencing society powerfully. And so, yeah, that is just very exciting. And the cool thing is our lead pastor, has been talking about how he wants to turn our church into not just a Sunday church where people just show up on Sunday and disappear, but how do we create a community? And I'm like thinking, like, man, if you could have a group of these people all come together and find their purpose together, you can build one of the strongest communities a church has ever had. Like, because they know their purpose and they're living into it, and your church becomes this place that encourages them to go after it. Like, it's just, there's so much, and I know I'm only just on the tip of the iceberg. Like, God has so much more and so much better planned than what I can even imagine, but it's just crazy. Like, the one time I decided to come to this, I've been going to this church for a year and a few weeks, a year and a month or something like that. And this is the first time I come to men's prayer, and this is what happens. Like, and I just felt called to come. I couldn't explain why. So much so that I canceled a coaching call. Like, wow, blown away. Just like, what in the world? What in the world? So, yeah. So crazy, so amazing, so blessed. And there was a fight to get here this morning. Everything inside me wanted to go back to sleep except my spirit. There's something that was like, you got to go to this. And I feel like the enemy was just doing everything he could to stop me from showing up. I was tired. I've been sleeping. I've been waking up so exhausted because I can't fully get into deep sleep because my neck hurts so bad. Like, I can't move without like shock pain going through my body. So I just am not sleeping and feeling very rested. So it was just, it was work to get here, but I'm so glad that I made it, because this is one of those future altering moments, because the conversation I had with him, he just really confirmed and opened my eyes up to how possible it is to partner with the church and do this. It's just, it's flawless. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Your plans are so much greater than mine. They're so much better. They're so much more creative. It's so much more inspiring and empowering and enlivening. Like, yeah. Wow. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. So he's got big plans. He's got massive plans. Just need to keep being obedient. And that's what I'm doing.